Let's talk about the family Madrigal, da, 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 and talk about the family Madrigal. Whee!
What does he have?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Get Real. I'm Miss Pengrino. Yes, I'm solo today because today we are talking about a new Disney animated film, Encanto. I'm super excited about this one. It is a musical, it's an animated film, new to Disney. At this point, I feel like a lot of you have probably seen it, seen the TikToks, seen the Facebooks. Yeah, I said the Facebooks. Deal with it.
Emotional damage.
But I still want to talk about it. Overall plot of this movie. Okay, there is a family. They are kicked out of their homes, like their home country, due to war, everything like that. They find a new place to stay. One of the members sacrifices himself to save the rest of his community. Therefore, his family is now presented with gifts, a magical candle, magical gifts, to protect the community, to keep the community protected. That is the family Madrigal, with our main star of Maribel. And I love her. She's adorable. She's super cute. But so the whole point of this is to kind of go through the process of seeing this family learn, not necessarily more about their gifts because they do understand their gifts, but like the story behind them, the story of possibly losing them, and then the realization of how to fix it and save themselves and the community and everything like that. So going into this movie, I thought it was just going to be one of those cute little children's movies, but you know, of course I love them, so I watched them anyways. Didn't think there was going to be a real relation to my adult life or my feelings or anything like that. So wrong. I was so wrong. We were all wrong. After watching this movie, although yes, kids are very entertained by it because it's very colorful, it's bright, it's active, it's songs, it's fun, it really hits home for adults. Me in particular, I know probably others as well, so let me tell you why. Our main person, Maribel, is the only one in her family who does not have a gift. Or so we think she does not have a gift. She doesn't have like an outright visual gift. Strength like her sister, the ability to grow like flowers and be perfect like her other sister, heal people like her mom, but she doesn't have any kind of gift like that. But she does her best to fit in with the family, to keep the family going, to do anything and everything necessary to just keep the magic and the life and the name of her family represented and represented well. Ceremony. However, something's wrong with the magic, and everybody kind of senses it, but nobody wants to acknowledge it. Maribel is the only one to acknowledge it. The only one who seems to care enough to like not treat her any different is Luisa, and she's probably one of my favorite characters, more so because she reminds me of my big sister. She's the one who has incredible strength. She feels like there's always pressure on her to do more, to be more, to handle it and protect people, and I feel like my sister a lot in our growing up was that person, and I was kind of that like outcasted person that I just didn't feel like I fit in, but I really tried and it just didn't work. But the person who winds up having the answer to all of this, or kind of the start of the answer, is Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno.
And that is Maribel's cousin, and they don't talk about him.
We don't talk about Bruno.
And the reason they don't talk about him
We don't talk about Bruno.
is because his gift is to see the future, or to see visions of what's going to happen. He doesn't control these, they just happen. He doesn't necessarily know how to interpret them, and so people just assume they mean bad things. And it's unfortunate for him because he doesn't mean to hurt anybody with these visions, he just has them. And so he's been secluded away from the family. Nobody really knows where he is.
We don't talk about Bruno.
But poor guy, he just gets the crap end of the stick. But he has this vision that the magic, the gift of the Madrigals will end or continue with Maribel. She holds the key to either fixing it or it completely crumbling. But they don't know why. They don't know why. So the whole point is to try and figure out why, what's going on. So of course, here comes me watching these Disney movies and getting so much more out of it than possibly what we were supposed to get out of it. But I know I'm not the only one because I've seen multiple TikToks about this. Each person that I've seen has kind of connected with one of the characters. Like I said, for example, my sister, she's actually kind of a combination of Luisa and Maribel's other sister, which I cannot think of her name right now. In our family of two girls, of having to be the strong one, the perfect one, the one that can't make any mistakes, the one that has to deal with all the problems and the pressures and everything like that. And then I very much feel like Maribel, that I'm trying to be the best person I can be. I am trying to live up to the standards of my sister, of what she can do and what she is. I don't feel like I ever make it, but then again, she doesn't ever feel like she makes it. So this really hit home for me and hard for me because it brought back flushing memories of when we were younger, and still a little bit to this day. Not so much. We've kind of worked things out a little bit better now that we are older, but it becomes a very emotional ride, I think, for adults when watching this movie, because if you grew up with any of these standards, or siblings, a lot of siblings probably feel this way. It's hard, it's rough, and it hits you really hard, and it's good to see it work out in the end, that it doesn't matter which one you are, which pressures you feel, how inadequate you feel. You are not inadequate. You are an amazing person, whoever you are, whatever you do. But the reason I really wanted to talk about this is because it puts out such an amazing message, not only in a couple ways. One, we're getting to see different cultures, which I think is fantastic. Disney has become really good at doing that lately. They're hitting every cultural point, and we do need to see more. A lot of the actors and actresses in here are of Hispanic backgrounds, ethnicities, things like that. So I'm glad that they did that. So it hits a note on that of being real and authentic. And then it also hits on the note of siblings and families and how we imagine and keep each other and dealing with these problems, emotional, mental, physical problems, and still emerging victorious and still emerging with love and acceptance for each other. So for something that was supposed to just be a regular old Disney classic, if you will, it really had a very deep message to it. Like, for example, Disney made merchandise, of course, for all the characters, but one of the major characters they made merchandise for was Maribel's oldest sister, the one who's like super perfect and pretty and blah blah blah, thinking little girls would want to be her. However, they did not make enough of Luisa, the strong, kind of more masculine looking girl who feels all the pressure to be perfect and weigh the problems. Most little girls actually connected with her. Most girls, not so little, connected with her because she's real and she's what we feel. Because we're, as women, we don't necessarily consider ourselves weak and just there to be pretty. We don't want to feel that way. So when you see Luisa, the strong, independent girl, woman, you want to make a connection to her, and I think that's wonderful. So I absolutely love all of the characters in here, but Luisa's probably my favorite. Luisa, and then Maribel, and then Bruno probably third, because Bruno is just hilarious. He's that crazy uncle, literally crazy at parts of the movie. I wish we got to see a little bit more of him.
We don't talk about Bruno.
But anyways, overall, gotta stop rambling. This is a wonderful movie that I highly recommend you see if you have not already seen it. If you have already seen it, watch it again. Watch just over and over, because I think it puts out such a good message, and it's so incredibly deep yet lighthearted for being so deep, which is perfect. That's how you need to approach heavy topics. My sister was one of the ones who originally recommended this movie, told me she cried, and I was like, oh great, am I gonna cry? Yeah, I did. It's emotional. Yes, it's a cartoon, but yes, I still cried. I'll admit it. It's fine.
Oh my God, just stop, just stop it.
But it's definitely one that I want to watch again, and I suggest, like I said, everybody to go watch it if you have not. Plus the soundtrack is just awesome. I can't get it out of my head. It's stuck in my head hardcore.
We don't talk about Bruno.
literally in the shower 24/7. I'm singing these things. Anyways, so recommendation, absolutely. It is still on Disney Plus. So free game, you know, it's like a $4.99 subscription. If you don't have it, I do recommend getting it, almost just because of this movie. There's a lot of other good things on Disney Plus, so obviously not just for this movie, but it's great. I love it. What more can I say? Welcome to the family Madrigal, and we don't talk about Bruno. No, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!